If you're into flowers, painting, and suffering, have I got a video for you. We're just gonna jump right into the inspo because I'm like legit 38 weeks pregnant and it's time to go. A lot of people DM'd me this dress actually. It's an Oscar de la Renta dress. Some of you Swifties may be more familiar with seeing it on Taylor Swift at the most recent Grammys, I think. I should fact check these more often. I really don't want to make this alone. So this video is also a collab where I will do the sewing part and the flowers will come from a YouTuber who's very, very good at painting, makes a beautiful artwork. Do you know who it is? Maybe I included it in the title so you don't have to guess. It's Amanda Rach Lee. Okay, we better get started. Also, don't forget at the end of this video to check out Amanda's video so you can see the big reveal on her beautiful flower top. I'll put a link in the description. Don't you forget it. Okay. This is the perfect situation to use my Lurlo kit because I can't measure Amanda in person, but this only needs her bust measurement. So from there, I picked a pattern that suited the kind of mock neck fitted tee that we were going for. This one is pretty good. She's got a turtleneck and it seems to be a pretty slim fit. This is the first draft of a little t-shirt for Amanda to try on. It's made of power mesh, which is stretchy but also very firm, should be very comfortable. It's the same stuff that bras can be made of. I think what I should do is drop it off for Amanda, see how it fits. I'm also going to be dropping off this canvas fabric for Amanda to do her amazing painting skills on. The original dress is embroidered, so it's nice to pick a fabric that has a little bit of texture to it so that after it's painted, it has that nice richness. I hope it works.
I got the goods. Thank you. I will see you at the next drop off. Mission accomplished. All right.
Amanda told me today that the flowers are done painting, so I'm coming to pick them up. Thank you, Amanda.
I can't wait to see it.
Me too. Oh my goodness. What are we gonna do? Guys, Amanda did such a beautiful job. I don't even really want to cut it apart. So Julie and I did splitsies. We're cutting them so that the canvas is just disappeared. So you get all flower. There's the backing. Here we go. I've roughly organized everything into piles based on color because I'm thinking about giving them all a blanket stitch edge. I think it'll add a nice texture, but I'm not 100% set on this plan. But at the very least, organizing them by color to see how I feel.
I'm on a trip and you're my one-way ticket. Lost in the script, so good it feels fictitious. And you can be the one to blame.
Alrighty, I have finished cutting out all of the flowers that I was assigned. Everything looks great, and I didn't get a bad hand cramp because I think the key was to break everything down into smaller pieces so your hand is not resisting a heavy fabric. I want to give them a bit more of an embroidered look so it matches the inspo a little bit better. So I'm not looking forward to this, but I'm going to blanket stitch all of these flowers. And I have these pretty threads to match. Well, at the very least, if you try this project, it's going to be very aesthetically pleasing the whole way through. Amanda. I feel like I figured out an ideal position for my sewing machine where my thumb and middle finger were operating the needle raise button and the presser foot in quick succession. Sometimes I noticed the threads started to jam up a little, but as you can see from me whipping out the vacuum cleaner, things improved drastically after a good cleaning. Always remember to clean your sewing machines. We are now on day 2 of the world of blanket stitch. So here's a close-up of how a lovely little sunflower looks without blanket stitch. And here it is with just like a little bit touch more of embroidery. These ones are difficult. These tiny ones are murderously difficult. And my favorite are these ones. Actually, this one's so close and matched that it almost doesn't matter. Okay, no, it matters. The other reason we're doing this is so that they don't fray, and that's the main reason.
'Cause if we just smile, we can forget all of our troubles for a while. We can just live inside this moment. You and I get through the darkness, knowing we'll find the light. If we just smile, if we just.
We have arrived at the final flower. So many times I wanted to cut corners. Like, why? Anyways, note to self, do not plan a couture level difficulty project as your final sewing project. I did it! These ones are so muted purple. I ended up using gray. It's quite hard to guess really how many flowers are needed, but I've been slowly creating a pile for Amanda, and I've been putting half of the pile on the top so I can visualize, and then setting aside the other half so that that can be used for the back side. So I'm gonna send it home with Julia, and she's gonna help me put together Amanda's top. To mix it up a little, I'm not gonna do the exact same design as Amanda's outfit. Essentially, I just want to create a top that can still be worn post bump. Alright, so the Letter Low kit, if you haven't seen me use it on this channel yet, even though I've been using it a lot, is basically built on the golden rule of body proportions. Now granted, when you're pregnant, you probably are a little farther from the golden rule. I'll put a link in the description if you want to see how this is all used. And if you've heard me talk about it enough and you want to just buy the kit and try it for yourself, open the description. The pattern pieces I cut out are basically identical to the ones that I used for Amanda, but in the interest of making something a bit more flexible in the belly area, I decided to go with this Cecily Banson item as kind of a inspiration. A slightly slimmer fit is needed to capture more of the essence of the Oscar de la Renta dress, but I think it'll work. If you watched my previous video talking about some of my favorite clothing for going through pregnancy, a more snug fit at the shoulders and bust is typically not too big of a problem, especially on a stretch fabric. And then some spacious breathing room in the belly hips area will have you set. Translating this into the pattern, it looks like one of those like tear here if you need a plumber. Anyways, this is the front piece. I drew a curved line in the front for where I wanted the flounce to start, and then I just cut a few slits so I could cleanly fold them out of the way and get my front pattern symmetrical down the middle. Same idea for the back. There's the original full-size piece. And finally with the sleeve, I knew I didn't want full length, but I wasn't sure if I wanted 3/4 sleeve or elbow or t-shirt, so I started with 3/4. That's this part that's folded out of the way to get me this. Taking all of those mesh pieces, this morning I finished my foundation. Well, this one doesn't have the little flouncy skirt yet. I think in terms of order operations, I want to attach that after I do the flowers. But it's got a little mock turtleneck that zips up in the back. I have this invisible zip running all the way down here, waiting to reach the flouncy part. The only thing I did personally was I added these darts in the front. I just wear it inside out. Draw a dot on the peak of my boob and then pinch all the parts that need to go away. Now I feel like it's my turn to paint, so to speak. I feel like this is a pretty good diagram of the goal. You can see over here on the left the foundation of it all. This is like a fashionary template that I use to draw fashion sketches really quickly. You can see all these orange dotted lines that help guide you. I'll add measurements to keep track of my notes all in one place, and then on the right is my diagram of what it will look like when I'm done. One more little extra thing I ordered from Etsy is these lovely little applique embroidered green leaves. They come in symmetrical pairs, and I gave 4 to the cause of Amanda's top. Wow, I look ready to hand out an Olympic medal or something. Congratulations to such and such country. The strategy here was pretty much start with the greenery, since that seems to be the most buried underneath. And I was basically giving half of the flowers I had to this top and then saving the other half for the flounce that's gonna be added later. Now I've completely run out of pins, so I guess this is as good as time any to stop. I've been thinking about using a nylon thread on top so it's see-through, and then on the inside just using a skin tone that matches this mesh. This is the leftovers I have for the flouncy part. I do think I'm going to steal some more of these for this. I have a hunch this might not be as dense as I want it. I keep thinking this would be a good project to do if you were like mad or you needed to get over something. There's a lot of repetitive, meditative actions. If you just needed to mentally escape for a moment and you had time, this might be a good project. Okay, I just finished only the collar. Risky move, really. Usually my rule is to start in an area that people won't really see, but I think that actually went pretty well. I just removed pins as I went. I don't think you guys can see the thread. I mean, it's like almost impossible for me to even see it looking this close. And who in coronavirus times is coming like this for me? I have never actually, I don't think, attached the quilting table to my machine, but something tells me it's the right thing to do. See you on the other side. Hope I don't get stabbed and pricked too much by the pins.
'Cause if we just smile, we can forget all of our troubles for a while. We can just live inside this.
I burned the midnight oil again on this. Is that a saying that people know? Last night I stayed up late and took this long rectangle of fabric and sewed a whole bunch of flowers onto it. That long rectangle is 2 times the circumference of the top, so that way it can be gathered and make a little flouncy skirt. Got them all pinned here, just gonna sew it together with a straight stitch. I had to do a bit of a tricky bit where I folded petals out of the way of the seam, and it looks like I was successful. This is how far the zipper went down the top half, so now I'm just gonna properly attach it to the rest of this little flounce, seal up the back, and then I think all that's left is the bottom. I was gonna give it a rolled hem, oh yes, and then potentially fill in some bald spots, and then it's done. This whole time the baby has been kicking so much in my belly, and it honestly feels like low-key threatening me, like, I'm gonna come any minute now, you better get it done.
Oh, you could be my little princess Peach, and I could be your Super Mario. The two of us were always meant to be. I know I never should have let you go. I've been waiting for a lifetime. You've been waiting for the right time. If I had an extra life, I swear would die for you twice. I'd turn off the power and take out the game, blow on the cartridge and try it again. No matter what, it turns out the same. You're up in a castle, I'm down in the drain. You're in a whole other level of love, stuck at the bottom, you're way up above. So many enemies in between us, but you know I'll never give up.
We made it! Don't forget to check out Amanda Rach Lee's video. I'll link it in the description. Julia helped me make a completely separate top, which has a different cut just for Amanda. It more closely resembles the original Oscar de la Renta inspo, so another great reason to go watch her vid. If you're new here from Amanda's channel, thank you so much for watching. You will now have some time to catch up on my videos, as well as brainstorm another thing you would like Amanda to paint and me to sew. As usual, there will be more photos of this finished garment on my Instagram, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell notification so we can all party together when I'm back from mat leave, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye!